It's been a real pleasure for us to be working with the Ministry of Panchayati Raj in India and to have the experience of being associated at the field level with important states with regard to capacitating local governments. So what, according to you, are the main challenges and how can the state level capacities to implement this national capacity building framework be actually strengthened?
It's a very good question, and before that I would like to recall the happy association we had always had with the UNDP for last several years, almost 5-year association in implementing the program for capacity development for local governments. And talking of challenges, we have got these rural local bodies, the panchayats and municipalities, which run into the number would be something like 2.5 lakh, which is 250,000 by institution number, and the number of representatives is of the order of 3 million. So that is one side. The other side is they are expected to be effective instruments of local governance, and they are so close to people that if they have become the government, then they become very closely answerable also. Unlike the state government or central government, where the advantage is the distance, you can always escape by saying the decision lies with higher authorities and you do something, people are happy. If you can't do, then you can always pass on the burden or the blame onto superior. But here the panchayat representative cannot escape. He has to answer, he has to perform, or he has to answer then and there. So to do that, perform that role effectively, the panchayats must have a lot of support in terms of the capacity. First of all, they should have capacity, and the capacity has the dimensions of human beings with knowledge, but again with the authority to do it, and if authority is there, then the resources, even infrastructure should be there, and so on. So all these put together make the local government effective.
Absolutely.
And yes, and this is, on one hand, the challenge is to carve out the power from the state governments to the panchayats. That is the one challenge. And so it is an issue of power sharing, and which is partly political but largely administrative also. I would say it is administrative issue is there, where procedures have to be set, the rules have to be framed, and then the political element comes in, which is in varying degree we are succeeding. So that is a major challenge for us, to equip the panchayats to discharge their responsibilities and make people happier than what they are today.
Yeah. So as you said quite rightly, that it's not only about effective devolution and having the administrative structures and political structures in place, but about the panchayats themselves having the capacity to be able to take on those responsibilities and have the capacity to do that. And in that kind of scenario, what do you see as the UNDP's role in helping or supporting, in strengthening the state level capacities to help to implement this national capacity building framework, which is absolutely critical to panchayats being able to deliver on the mandate that they've been given?
Yes. Well, you rightly said the National Capability Building Framework, or the NCBF, is the roadmap, which is a flexible roadmap, of course. We don't expect the states to follow it as if it is carved on the stone and no change is possible, but it seems to be generally acceptable to all the states, which prescribes it provides the framework for how that we should go about the task, and including infrastructure, including manpower, and the training material and training course design, curriculum, everything has been outlined and details are to be worked out. So, and for implementing the framework, we have got resources also. Not that we are short of resources in terms of money, but we have realized the hard way that money is actually not the only requirement for implementing a vision like the NCBF. Money is necessary but absolutely insufficient. And there are occasions, of course, where you feel that money is somewhat secondary.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, somewhat secondary. At times you feel, though once upon a time people used to feel that you require money to do anything. But it has turned out that it is not very true. And you require systems, you require precise manuals and models and action plan to implement the proposal. To give an example, some state wants to organize training program for newly elected panchayats.